Hey folks, another episode. Last episode was all about paint. This episode's all about detailing. And then when it's all in a fit state, we're going to get rid of it at auction. I've enjoyed driving it around though. I haven't fallen out of love with it. But I do need the cash. Right, onwards and upwards. Little buggers are back. They're there. I had to move the car out because he was crapping all over the place. Come back to roost, innit? These things are a pair, left and right. But when I stand them up like that, they've got different lengths on the inside edge there, and they're different there. So they're actually a matched pair, but I don't understand why one fits and one doesn't. So I can only assume it's been bent, or it's a cheap pattern copy. Right, let me just turn this one around. So if I put them in their matched pair state now. So there we are. From the top. Okay, they're not in the best shape when it comes to the mounting holes. I don't know why. I've got no idea. Soon fix it. I'm going to go and look now at the other two I've got in the unit, which I think is my next step. And of course I've got 5 other cars I can rob these off. Actually no, 4, because the bobtail won't have them, will it? And find a pair that actually fit. And then I'm going to give them a proper good clean up and rattle can them with some plastic bumper paint. Provides a durable, tough finish that protects and enhances the appearance of bumpers and most other rigid plastics. Well, this is certainly a rigid plastic. So this is going to need papering back. I'll probably get quite violent with it, cleaning it all back and getting it looking fresh and flat. I don't think it had a textured surface. I just think it was pretty much out of the box. It was not the best finish. I'll put some paper up and down it. I've got plenty of paper. Oh, hello, bee. Buzz off. Hey, you sting me, I'll kill you. No, actually, no, stinging me will kill it. It's not a bee, it was a wasp. I wouldn't kill a bee. Little bumbly bee. Right. No misfire this morning when I started it up. Started up beautifully. All of this shit I knew about. I just oversprayed left, right and bloody centre because I knew I was going to paint these things, so I wasn't particularly bothered about masking them up and everything, so all of this crap is just going to come off. I've really kind of lost enthusiasm for masking everything. Right, let me get some more out. Well, that went well. These are the 2 that are off the car originally. I'll check them for fit, but that's melted. I need to run an angle grinder through that one, which is a shame. It is kind of hidden. Let's go and see if I can find which is the driver's one out of these 2, because I know that one was the passenger one. So that was the driver's side one. No, hang on a second. That was the passenger side one because it had the overspray all down the bottom. For now, that's the driver's side one. So I want one of those, which is that one there that's melted. Now, when I stand those 2 side by side, you can see the tail end on one goes out and not on the other. So I think it is this item that is broken. Nice and straight all the way to the top. In fact, it goes out at the top as well. I might be able to do something with this. Might. If I was to flap that piece of molten plastic back, because it is actually hidden. Looks like he's used a pop rivet to put the damn thing on with as well. Let's go and see how it presents itself to the car. You might remember these. Oh yes, I do. Right, bearing in mind we've got a straight edge. So what we want to do is position this up. Yeah, that molten bits can stick out like a dick in a bucket. That's no fucking good, is it? I've got to find another driver's one. But you see at the back end there, it does align itself now. It's also split at the back there. So I've proven that we have a problem with the driver's one that I've got already. So I need to go and find another driver's one. And I think I know which one I'm going to probably pinch. furthest car out there, I'm pretty sure it's got one that's hanging off. Let's go have a look. It's the one I was thinking of. You see, because gravity, oh look, it's broken. Oh. Someone's fucking snapped the end off it. Yeah, that's not good enough. But you see, gravity has done its work already. It's still attached to the remains of the sill. Oh, that's a pain in the balls. This is the car that I've been robbing bits out of left, right and centre already. It smells warm in here. Horse apples. I'm working out which one I can utilise. Right, so next one is this one here. Well, it's complete. It's not got a big rip down it. This is the car with its original Kit Kat seats in it. Hey, door opens. 1,000 fucking holes drilled along it. Is it attached front and back? It is. Might be able to undo that bolt. Someone's just bloody pot riveted the fucking thing on. So these are the actual holes. These fellas here, all the way along, are for something else. So it's going to require quite a lot of work to fill that lot in before I can use it. So let's have a think about that one. Bobtail's no good. Well, bobtail's fantastic, but it's no good for the purposes of this job because it ain't got none. Green car next. This is the diesel one. I'm not robbing bits, don't worry. Green car. I can get to it. Nah, that was broken as well. It's make you wonder what goes through people's tiny fucking minds when they do this sort of violence, doesn't it? Right. It's funny how these plans change. This is the sill trim off the red car that I decided to liberate, despite the fact it's got loads of little holes drilled along its length, because when it's in place and I line up the hole, it fits the back. You can't really see the rivet holes. There's a couple, and it lines up at the front. I think this is the one I'm going to use. Okay, a little bit at the back there, just needs sanding back slightly to the high spot. I'm going to warm that up and sand it. And then that all goes together quite nicely. Damn sight better than the other one. Onwards with phase 2 and the strobing light. Phase 2 is raw about detailing. So I've stripped all of the crud back on this inner wing area because it looked like that. It's all just body sealant and it just looks a frigging mess. So it's all coming back. The other part of detailing involves really just where I painted this panel. I've had to dab in some bits of paint. Some they did put my teeth in. Some moisture did get on the panel, so that's where I've just dabbed some solid coat onto the car. And I'm going to see if that makes a difference. And if it does, then I shall carry on with a couple of the other imperfections. I flashed it back, but I don't want to go back any further. I was going to end up repainting the whole bloody thing again. I really don't fancy doing that. Right, okay, this is just wax and polish on this wing top here, that's acceptable. So really just sanded all that junk back on this side. Get the mini paint going there. Waft a bit of filler in there. Not filler. Waft a bit of primer in there, and then paint it white. And I think that'll then look a shitload better. Top of this wing is fine. It's the wing don't have an issue with. It's been painted. It's just dirty. It's beyond the wing. It's in this area here that I want to prep that. Rest of the engine bay isn't really too bad. There's a few bits of schlock down there, bits of metal and swarf that have started to rust, so I need to sort them out. Overall, this engine bay is not too bad. I mean, it's a serviceable engine bay. underneath, so in all of the wheel arches, I kind of left it all quite exposed really, and a similar problem over here with the seam sealer, where it's exposed to the air, it just starts cracking up. But there's a good seam sealer that exists in between, so I might get myself a rubberized seam sealer and squirt it in and over those cracks, or I might just paint black underseal over the top of everything under here, because this is all just a Tetra Schutz kind of material. Gosh, look at that reflection. I like the way how I managed to get all those panels lined up. And I'm pretty darn close to it at the moment. There's the wheel arch. That's how close I am to it. And then if I venture underneath, allow me to take my phone underneath. Again, similar sort of concerns under here really, that this is all just schutzed up. But the bottom of the car really doesn't have any protection on it, and I think this might concern some people. So I'm probably just going to end up painting the whole damn thing. Oh look, a bit more detail in there. There's a bit of seam sealer that's got itself stuck onto the edge of the chassis there. The rest of it down here, there's no obvious oil leaks on the engine or the gearbox. There's a tiny bit of oil on the back of the handbrake drum, but they do tend to do that because it's quite a funny old seal on the back of the engine. See that body seal there's gone on quite nicely. And up under the arch you see where I've kind of put the sealant on, looking up the arch. Now the other thing I've not done in this is painted the insides of the wings, because I was going to kind of just again underseal them, and I think that might be the answer, is just to underseal these arches black rather than white. So if I take a step back, that could be on quite nicely, you can see the white paint under the arches, and also if I go down you can see it under there as well. Now, that's not normal, they're normally black and it goes tads, which is kind of more how I expect them to be. You can see from here there's no white under that arch at all, it's all black. Chassis, black, everything. Same walk up, hello apple tree, a little bit of blight on that. Go out to this one, and you can see there on this arch how none of it is really protected other than a bit of Schutz. So it's not really an out of the box ready to run motor, is it? So I'm thinking about that at the moment. However, these bits up here, they do need to be white up here. So I'm cracking on with that. Other detailing, I want to get the top of this door to go further in, sticking out too much at the moment. So I need to probably if I undo the fixtures on the hinge and push the door in slightly, because I pulled it out to meet this, and again it's another brand spanking new Land Rover panel that just don't bloody fit. Right, it's got these painted sill trims on. Ah, that's a world better. Straight from front to back and to the side. What I might need to do here is put the other bolt in and just pull that out a tiny bit. There's another bolt hole that goes through about there, but it doesn't actually interfere with the yeah, get that one in, that'll hold that out nicely. Yeah, pleasing. Deck's come up nicely, just with a cut. There's no anti-swirl on it yet, there's no polish on it yet, I'll do that in a minute. Engine bay looks a lot tidier now I sorted these cruddy bits out in here, which you can't see because of the strobing, but that one as well. In other news, I've found this caliper, this front caliper, is actually pissing leaking. The reason I looked is because the master is down, and I did check it's not on a ramp and so forth. So this rear chamber, there's a dividing line, a baffle. That's for the rear brakes, that's for the front brakes, and that's down because I had the fluid was up to the neck there. So it's down, I don't know, 10-15 mil. Enough. It shouldn't be down at all. So searching around for leaks. Let's go behind this near side front wheel to where the caliper is. Brake fluid. It's not the unions, it's another one of these rebuilt calipers. I don't know what the issue is, I really don't. I've just bought another pair of brand new calipers. I'm not going to fuck around with this thing anymore. 100 quid for a pair of calipers, and I'm going to need to remake these lines because there'll be metric threads down here rather than imperial. Really, 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 really irritating. Anyway, if they come tomorrow, I'll start this job tomorrow. I'll finish it off next week when I get back. It's got to be safe. I can't be fucking around with a 2-ton car and a dodgy caliper on the front end. That's just criminal. Right. However, bonnet and deck, and again, bear in mind this is only cut, not polished. I'm well pleased with this. Next I'm going to sort out, so I need to sort out these black panels that go across the front here, because they've got bits of polish and shit in them. They just want a darned good clean up, get all the polish out of them. I've managed somehow, I'm not entirely sure how I've managed it, but I've managed it all the same, to lose one of these triangular sections. Now I just cut this one out of a bit of ABS plastic. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. They want cleaning up, so that's the next thing. And also the other thing I need to clean up is I've got a pair of rear vents. Not that one, these two. So I've got these two, which are the same. No, they're not. They're a matching pair. These two are a matching pair of vents, and they go up here. And they should have little clips on the back of them to hold them in place. I'll get the right one, shall I? And that goes on there. They should have little clips that hold them on the backs of those, but I need to take the D post off in order to get that, and I'm really not into that, so they might just get stuck on. It's a really bad thing to do, isn't it? I know. Oh, hello. Still speedy. But they're all right. They could give them a darned good clean, and then they can go on. Sill trims look better now. How about that? It's just with this car, I do have a nasty habit of moving forward once. So you see, I've still not done the screen rubbers, door rubbers. My missus is arguing about that. Well, if you're only going to get tens of thousands of pounds for it, then I don't see why we should waste the money on the sill trim. Does not understand. Oh, mirrors move around. Wonder what that was. Right. Let's get this stuff cleaned up and then on. Ended up taking this corner D-post panel off, which is actually a bit of a ball's ache because these threads here are just slightly too long for the socket to go in there, to go into the damn hole and pull it out. Pain in the ass. Anyway, came off. You guys missed a Mr. Sweary moment. We're going to put some big washers on these when it goes back in because the holes up here are bigger than the nuts. That's the problem. I put that one down there. Anyway, it's all going to go back on. It is, it is, it is, it is, it is, it is, it is. Oh yes, and that looks good. I'm pleased with that. That looks nice. Yeah, looks how it should. It's not glued either. We don't need to glue shit on. That'll do. Right, a couple of nuts. Well, I've got one nut. When you fit these panels on, by the way, because there is some confusion, there's a line of screws that goes down here, and there's a line of nuts that goes up there. You want to undo these nuts from inside, 3 nuts, and then pull this edge out so it pivots on the back. And then when it goes back on, it's literally a reverse of the whatever it was. I've just dropped the washer on the floor, but it goes on like that, and then you push it forwards and it's in place. Right, now let's see if we can get these washers through these holes. You know what's going to happen now, don't you? This washer's going to be too... Oh no, it goes in there. That's good. That's good. Right, we're going to use Mr. Magnet to get that, and I think 2 ends. Hey folks, keep watching if you want to see me polishing my tools, but first I had to take this panel off again because that popped out at that end, and I found a slightly different type of clip. So the clips used originally look like this. This is Bresco part number 403/21, and if I can get one out of the pissing bag, they look like that, and you push them down onto the peg, and the idea is they hold it back. However, they slip off. Found these ones. Look at these fellas. Similar sort of concept, and these are going to go on instead. That's what I had to do with the other one. Cleaned it, painted it, lobbed it back on again. So I cleaned all the polish and stuff off it. Looked a bit like that before, a little bit on the tatty side. So that's all clean. Missing a couple of posts on this one, but I've got enough on there, I think, to be able to get it to stick quite tightly. And I'll put some double-sided tape just on one corner. Right, onto my tool, which I'm going to polish. Okay, these are the tools. It has been observed that it looks a bit like a scrapyard find. Not entirely sure I agree, but I'm going to paint them up anyway. So I've got some chassis black. So I'm, first of all, gunk off the jack, which has got a little bit of patina. Quite a lot of patina and a bit of bird shit by the looks of things. And then I shall chassis black that and end up with it all looking like it's, I don't know, in your top drawer in your kitchen. Help before you, oh, radio's on. Does help before you polish your tools if you can hang them up somewhere first of all, so that they can dry off. Hello wasp, you nasty stripy little bastard. That's still gunking off, and I've even opened up the tool roll, and I've wire brushed all this stuff down, and that's going to be chassis black too. In fact, I might even do the relay off the series Land Rover. This thing is fucking knackered, dry as a witch's tit, and also the pin's broken, so I shall give that a little going over with some chassis black. There you are, see? While I got the brushes out. I haven't ordered a new bush for this one. Oh, the other thing I noticed while I was out here, got a bit of moisture down here. He's a bit wet. I don't know where it's coming from. Into a big fucking puddle. That needs sorting out. I don't know where that's come from. It's irritating though. Don't want to get to the stage already of having to drill holes to let the water out faster than it comes in. I had an Anglia like that. My Anglia was fantastic. Loved that car. I don't know where it's coming in. I've not really driven this in heavy rains. I suspect it's coming in from one of the seals. But anyway, just keep an eye on that. Right, let's get the old chassis black out. So what sort of chassis black am I going to paint my tool with? I have got in here, I am sure I had some. There he is. Ta-da! Look at that, extreme chassis black paint. Right now, do it. Ultimate chassis protection for my tool. Right, oh, it's a gloss. Oh, what the hell, never mind. I'm just up in the field, having taken a few pickies. So quite a steep old hill. It's not horrific, but let's go down here, just past the horse apples. And let's see if it will do this. So we're going to go low range, reverse, bring it out to the biting point. No throttle. That's not even with the diff lock engaged. There's throttle. Going back up to where the horses are. It's alright now. Got a lot of grunt in this car. I still haven't sorted this bit out. It's a tane, I'll do it, I promise, I promise, I promise. It's not quite X1, X1's more that direction, but that's up the steepest bit now. Oh, it's just starting to think about, still no throttle. Almost at the top. It's the horses. Right, let's stop it there. Right, now first gear, and we'll engage a creep mode going downhill. So first gear, low range, clutch pedal up, and feet off everything. And again, much the same sort of thing. Feet off everything, standard rule, number one, off-roading, hill descent mode. You don't need to have a brand new Range Rover to do this hill descent crap. You really don't. I've not even got the diff lock. I'm working in undiff lock mode, so it's one wheel drive at the moment. Hill descent mode. Tell you what, rush out and buy yourself a brand spanking new. Rush out and buy yourself a brand spanking new £1 million Range Rover, and it won't do any better than this old Duchess. That's just at idle speed. Oil's not even warm yet. Ah, clock's wrong. Ah, because the battery's been disconnected, that's why. Just check the clock hasn't packed up. Let's set the clock right. I'm just setting the clock right while I'm driving down the field. Not touching anything, I'm not even touching the steering wheel at the moment. I'll have to touch the steering wheel in a minute. What are we? 5:30. There we go. Right, I'm going to pull the steering wheel a little bit now, just so I don't go into the fence. We're going to go back to the gate, past Rusty Rex. Hello, Fly. Just bought another Land Rover today. It's actually a very, very, very clean and tidy 109 Series 3. Needs a bit of work. But doesn't need tons of work. Straight down both sides, nice and original, apart from the fact someone's hand painted it green. It was blue before, so it came from all the way up there. Well, it's not a terrifically steep hill, but it's steep enough to, you know, be mildly impressed that it goes up it at idle without any throttle, in low range. Still no throttle. I've not used the throttle since the beginning, top of the hill. We're in a forward now, crawler mode. Creepy along. Get out of the car and run round it if I wanted to, but that would just be silly, wouldn't it? Past Bunny Rabbit house. Bunny Rabbit's swarming all over the place right now. Here's a steep bit. I'm going to put a bit of lock on the steering and see if it goes up here. So it's the most difficult thing that a Land Rover can do is when you put a load of lock on it, because it's pushing against the front wheels with the lock. It's done it without any problems. Right, I'm going to have to stop now and go down the gate. Let's clear it out. No smoke, that's good. Nicely done. Front, yeah, they responded quite nicely. I painted them with a chassis black, but it was too glossy, didn't like it. So with the tools, I've just given them a waft with some satin black, just to change the colour of it slightly, just to take the tone of it back. I'm not going to be able to do anything with the patina on that, it's a tough. On the tools that have gone into the boot, let's take a walk out to the car. Oh look, tidy horses out. Yes, they look better. It will distract someone thicker enough that they don't notice the car's been painted by a blind camel. In this car, of course, it's not been painted by a blind camel. It's been painted by Lee and Steve, polished by me. Tower's got excited now, just eavesdrops. So we've got a bit of rain today. But yes, the tools look nicer. I'll give you that. They do look nicer. Probably something I would have painted had I had the time before the auction at Silverstone. So, they're in. I've not sorted out the water leak yet. I think the water, see there, water? I think the water is leaking in past here. And there is actually a seal that goes onto the bottom of the top tailgate. Early sealed looks like that. And just pops over the edge there. And I think it's that where the water is leaking past. Because when I look down the inside here, yes, there are gaps in it. But all of those gaps are right at the very, very bottom. They're not going to cause the boot to flood because it's below the level of the boot floor. The rest of the seal is actually mating to the edge of the frame all the way down to about there. Top seal, I know that, mates, because I've done that already. Oh dear, I don't know why it leaks. Anyway, these are looking good. Paint needs a good wax. It's only really been polished at the moment, which is why it's just wants a good wax, but I haven't had a chance to do it. The weather, as you can see, is most inclement today. Shut, you bastard. Right, let's get on with it. These two grooming each other. But they think they're going to get carrots now. Do you think you're going to get carrots? Sorry, Tomo, I haven't got any carrots. Bring some over for you later on. Hey? I've got to go down there and sort the gate out. Because you lot have managed to get another gate open. You do that, don't you, eh? Tidy horse. Right, here comes Tamo again. She thinks she's going to get another carrot. What are you doing in my field? Where they've got in down here was Robin Hudson. Where they've got in down here is this gate. Someone's left this gate open, so I probably need to close. Oh fucking hell, it's like a quagmire. But the good news is, while they've been down here, and they've been right down here too. Look, all the way down here. All the way down. Oh, there's a big pile of horse apples down there, so they've had quite a lot of time down here. This gate's open. And I want to find a way of shutting this gate, which should be fairly easy just by doing that, I reckon. Oh look, there's a hole there in the wall. That'll do it. That'll keep that gate shut. And then we've got this gate here, which is a slidey affair. Well, it would be a slidey affair if he slid, but I don't want to, because the problem is this one down here, I think they'll just be able to push over. Oh, that's quite solid. A double line of defence there. Oh, a big old gate hinge there, look at that. See, they've actually been out here, or someone's been out here. Let's get out of here, do that gate up, and then I don't care if they come down here. That'll do that. Because then, if they come down to the Linny, and they've been doing a fair number of horse apples down here. Oh, there's some straw in here as well. What's been going on in here? Right, let's have a little explore around the Linny. So this is inside the Linny. Someone's cut cross beams off this roof. Actually, I don't think they've ever were up here. I just think it's got, oh, there's a bottle of Cointreau up there. A few slates, edges to the roof. Birds and things been in here. I don't know if the horses come in here. No sign of any horse apples. And that's the gate that goes out onto the road, but we've bolted that up on the inside here. I don't think the horses will be able to get that open. And then next door, which I can't access from this side, that bit there, there's another shed on the other side which is accessible by the road. We put a tin roof on there just to keep it stable. You see the the edge of the roof has failed along there, but the beams themselves, I think they're okay. Probably just need to do something to protect it, make it last a little bit longer. Oh, I'm impressed the horse is getting down here. It's keeping the weeds down. I shall leave the gate open then. The other gates are closed. Yeah. Pat. There we are, back up to a scrapyard. I've got another piece of scrap coming. Bought a Series 3 109 1980. It's a truck. Basically, it's got the full van cover on the back, which hasn't been cut out with windows. It's in rather fine fettle. Got it started yesterday. It's going to be delivered next week, so you can await an exciting video on that. But in the meantime, let's get back to the Land Rover.